Would you be willing to allow more and more of you to sink into this pure being beyond all preferences? This is incredibly healing, incredibly cleansing to each and every part of your system: physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. Hey everyone, I'm going to just tune in to everybody who's here. Welcome. See some new faces. Yeah. So I am Mark. This is By Divine Design. Welcome to the free weekly transmission on Zoom that happens every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. If you're catching this later on YouTube, you can see the video description for details on how you can join. Everyone's welcome. Yeah. So I don't know about you, but I am feeling the flow of today's transmission quite strongly already. It's kind of sweeping me away. Let's see if there's any introduction the guides want to share before we dive deep into that transmission, into the meditation part of it. So, yeah, preferences. I prefer this, I don't prefer that. So there are many levels that you can look at preferences. The ones we're going to highlight are divine preferences, or the preferences of our infinite divine being, versus our personal preferences, our human preferences, especially our egoic preferences. And basically the rule is divine preferences win every time. If your divine prefers something for you, that's what you experience. And if, as your divine is preferring something for you, some particular experience or challenge or opportunity, and you at the level of the human are not surrendered to that preference, you on the level of the human suffer. It's challenging, it's difficult, it's not preferred. So ultimately, you could say the spiritual journey that we're on is learning to surrender our personal human preferences to our divine preferences. The more we're in alignment with our divine preferences, the more we just flow through life enjoying every moment. In fact, it becomes incredibly blissful. Part of the reason for this is our infinite divine being is already aligned with our highest good. What's truly best for us is what our infinite divine being is already aligned with. And wherever we are not aligned with that higher truth on the personality level, then we're basically arguing with the higher self. We're arguing with life and what life is bringing us. Because ultimately, life is always for us. We live in a friendly universe. We just don't fully recognize that yet. But the more we recognize that, the more we flow with life and begin to open to, okay, this might seem challenging at first, but there's a gift. The more that we begin looking for the gift that's included in whatever is arising in our experience, the quicker we can become aligned with that, receive the benefits of that, enjoy that, experience the bliss of that. So like tomorrow, we have a healing group called Breakthroughs in Physical Health. And we're going to go more deeply into this and how it applies to your physical health. Today's transmission, it's going to be more like an introduction in a more general way. So already this, so I'm speaking words, but this is coming through as pure energy, pure information. Your system's already receiving it, whether you're consciously aware of that or not. That's the power of the transmission. The transmission meditates you. The transmission opens and changes your system so that you just find yourself acting differently, feeling differently, thinking differently. It can still be useful to apply like awareness and like practice the beliefs that are shared. But more importantly, we are aimed at getting your system to rise in vibration, become more aligned with these truer, more beautiful energies to where you just live from that. It's not a mental discipline. It's just the way you find yourself living more and more and more. So one of the teachers along the way that I learned a lot about this from was named Lester Levinson. He was an American. He basically was on his deathbed and about to commit suicide because, why bother with the last few painful weeks of life, but in the midst of that, he had the thought, what if there's something here that I'm just not seeing yet? And so he started going through all his books. He had psychology books, philosophy books, all these different books he had never fully paid attention to, but now in this position, he was like, I want to figure this out. If there's a way to figure this out, I want to figure this out. And within 3 months, he was God realized. So he had past lives that prepared him, that brought him to that level where he could become God realized in 3 months, going from where he didn't even know if he believed in God to being fully God realized. Anyhow, he went deep into the bliss for like 10 years. But eventually, like, people started hearing about him and asking him to teach what he knew. And in his teaching, he was, okay, I'll meet you where you're at. You're living in this human world. You have all these wants and desires. You have all these preferences. So start listing them. Start naming them. I want a new house. I want a job acting in movies. I want this. I want that. And then pick one and just imagine that's the truth of your life right now. Like, I want a new house. And notice what comes up as you're considering that. what comes up in your system? Oh, I can't afford it. I don't know how that would ever be possible. And with each one of those, he was like, all you have to do is release it, acknowledge it, and then release it. Just let it go. And that was his, primary technique. Some of his students called it the release technique, or one of his other students eventually called it the Sedona technique. But essentially, you just keep releasing whatever comes up in your system that seems to block your ability to manifest whatever it is you prefer, what you want. So basically, he already knew that his God realized state was one of absolutely no preferences for anything. He was just open to whatever life brought him. But he decided to meet people where they were at. I want this. I prefer this. Okay, so fine. Use that as your tool to move towards God realization. Go for what you want and just clear away everything that comes up that tells you that's not possible. And the way he put it, you let go until you are hootless, meaning you don't give a hoot whether you manifest that thing or not. He says, when you reach that point, when you have no preference, if this new house manifests or not, you are now most magnetic to manifesting that house. But you don't care. So in the next moment beyond that, you might realize, oh, it really wasn't about manifesting a physical home. What I really want is to have a moment-to-moment experience of my spiritual home, my divine home. And then you start the process over again with that wanting. I want to be God realized. What comes up in your system that says, no, that's impossible, or no, I'm afraid of that, or et cetera, et cetera. And again, you just start working with clearing each and everything that comes up until you absolutely don't care if you're ever God realized or not. And that's when you're actually ready to receive God realization. So the same thing applies in relationships, in health, physical health, psychological health, et cetera, et cetera. So that's enough of an intro. And that's a little taste of where we're going to go deeper tomorrow in the healing group on physical health. Let's see what the guides want to do with you today to help you open up to and align with your infinite divine preferences and transcend and possibly let go of personality or egoic preferences that are actually not in alignment with your highest truth. Okay, let's begin. This transmission will go for about 45 to 50 minutes. All you need to do is relax, let go, notice what you notice along the way. Let the transmission meditate you. As we open to these frequencies of divine love consciousness that are always for your highest good and the highest good of all. Yeah, just notice how this supreme divine love is coming in to your field, is coming in for you. It's extremely respectful, gentle, It offers itself to you. It waits to see how you energetically respond. Essentially, it only comes in where and when it's invited. So, would you be willing to allow yourself to notice where and how your system is inviting in this deeper experience of infinite divine love, all accepting unconditional love? It's pure grace, pure gift. Opening now more and more to this, expanding, expanding. Yeah, would you be willing to allow your whole energy field to expand so you can experience more and more of this love at each and every level of your energy system, from the deeply unconscious and the material up to the most subtle, light-filled spiritual aspects of who and what you truly are. It's like you're being bathed in this healing, pure pool of love. Opening more now, opening, expand, expand, expand. Just welcome the love. It knows exactly what you need. It customizes itself perfectly to you, your system, this moment, all moments. And it's already pulling you into the space that's beyond all preferences. A space that is the pure energy of surrender. Surrender to who and what you truly are. Surrender to this divine love that is what you are. Surrender to that which is truly your highest good, your highest truth. And we use the metaphor of high, like higher truth, but we could just as easily be saying deeper, taking you higher in your being and deeper into the core of your being, where you may begin to experience You have absolutely no preferences. You are just open beingness. Would you be willing to allow more and more of you to sink into this pure being beyond all preferences? This is incredibly healing, incredibly cleansing to each and every part of your system: physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. Now you're invited to bring to mind some issue that up till now you might have had preferences concerning. A body symptom, some emotional pattern, some issue at work. Yeah, just with the lightest of intentions, hold an awareness of that issue while continuing to bask in the pure being which is beyond all preferences. And notice what you notice. Do your physical sensations regarding this issue change? Does the way you think or feel about this situation change? As you simply let it rest in the pure being which is beyond all preferences. Where you are actually completely free. Okay, we're going to try that again, but before we do, I'm going to pull you even more deeply into pure being. Would you be willing to explore allowing even more of yourself to drop into this freedom beyond all preferences? You're all doing very well with this. Whether you're conscious of it or not at this moment, you are releasing preferences. You are opening to greater freedom. So let's go deeper still. Would you be willing to simply let go of whatever preferences you're ready to let go of, and allow yourself to sink even more deeply into this luscious, pure beingness? Okay, and allow yourself to pick another issue or that same issue once again. Something where up till this moment you had a preference for this way or that way. Just lightly hold that within this state of pure being beyond all preferences. Notice what changes, if anything. Just feel what you feel. Notice what you notice. It's good for you to know this is helping to dissolve all your preferences, even as we focus on a specific preference or set of preferences. But notice what happens as you hear the question, what do I know about this situation now? It's good for you to notice that the answer can come as a felt sense, as an image, words, thoughts, or just as a pure energy with seemingly no content at all. Just let it be whatever it is without preference to how it shows up. What do I know about this now? Okay, allow that to come to a conclusion. We're expanding outwards. There are various levels of your light body. We're bringing the focus to your light body that's about 30 feet out in all directions, or about 10 meters. You might experience this level of your light body as a cocoon of light filled with various frequencies, patterns of light, movements. So the light body becomes an interface between your infinite divine being and your everyday human being. So we're very aware that when you're in your everyday consciousness, your preferences hit you differently than when you're in a deep state of pure being. And of course, the goal is to where you remain fully in your pure being, even as you live your human daily life. But along the way, we're showing you energetically how to have easy, quick, even momentary association with this part of who and what you truly are, your pure being, even as you go about your day. So you can begin to enjoy more and more what this freedom from your everyday personal preferences can allow you to experience, to enjoy. How your day begins to flow differently when you're able to access that place within you that has no preference and is open to whatever life wishes to bring to you. because you are life. Life is you. It's ultimately just you surrendering to you, to your own highest good, which is one and the same as the highest good of all. So we're activating a configuration within your light body that will make this a little bit more available to you throughout your day and night as you are in your everyday consciousness going throughout your day. Okay, just as an example, just to help the energies activate more at your personality level. It's like, let's say you're in a ice cream store and you were really, really, really wanting to have their pistachio, their version of pistachio ice cream, and they're out of it today. So what would it be like to be completely free in that moment of any and all preferences for pistachio? Allow yourself to just notice what you notice what is available, be drawn to order maybe the nutty chocolate chip that you've never had before. And you receive your ice cream, you take a taste, and you think, wow, this is really good. This is actually better than pistachio. If they had had pistachio today, I would have never learned this. So that's just a mini example, just to highlight how this can work as you go through your day. More and more free of any particular preference, moment to moment. So it's good for you to notice also that many of your preferences are conditioned, meaning you were taught to believe that you should prefer this or that. They're not even authentic to your personality, to your human. So we're highlighting those in your system. We're like tagging those so your energy system's more available, more aware of the difference we're highlighting right now. Like these inauthentic preferences that were never actually even chosen by your personality. They were taught to you. They were kind of programmed into you by parents, teachers, society, commercials, ads. So that's a whole lot of preferences that you're already seeing energetically. Yeah, those we can offload those. We can let those go. They're not even authentic to me and my likes and dislikes. Not really. They were learned. They were taken on based on others' experiences. Yeah. So let's just clear those out. Yeah, another way of saying that is, would you be willing to let go of any and all inauthentic beliefs, preferences, understandings that don't match up to whom what you truly are, to your authentic being, your authentic expression? Yeah, we're still working on clearing out these inauthentic preferences from your system. I mean, in actuality, all I am doing is showing you what's possible. And when and if you believe that's for your highest good, you just begin mimicking what you see me doing. You begin doing it for yourself. All healing is self healing, all growth is self growth. I reflect it to you. And when you recognize, oh yeah, that looks good to me, that would be better, you just find yourself doing it. Okay, we're going to shift now. This requires another expansion. Would you be willing to allow your energy field to expand out even more, to allow yourself to feel and experience and fill with even more of your divine being, your divine knowing, your divine plan? And plan is actually just another word for preferences. Okay, so let's use a financial example. Let's say in your pre-birth planning before this lifetime, you as infinite divine being, along with your spirit guides and angels and various spiritual teachers, forms of God, whoever was there on your team is actually still there because it's occurring outside of time and space. But there you are planning your life as an infinite divine being, and it includes, let's say, a preference to only have this much money for this period of time in your life. That you're going to put a limiter or you're going to put an upper limit. in order to challenge yourself to grow in certain ways, or there's certain experiences you want to have that you know will eventually bring you greater freedom, greater balance, greater maturity. So that's a divine preference. And that rules your life. And if you are the human character who's constantly angry at that, fighting that, well, you're suffering. That's suffering. To argue with what is, to try to fight what is. In this case, this divine preference that your money situation should be limited in a certain way. So you fight against that, you suffer. What would it be like to just, even for a moment, to let go of that preference, to be richer than you are, to have more money than you have? Even just for a moment, just to have your own direct experience, would you be willing to allow yourself let go of that preference, open to the superseding divine preference, and notice what you notice? So, what's happening is as you surrender to that limit, that preference put in place by yourself as infinite divine being, because it knew it would be the best thing for you as a human being at that point in your life, the more you surrender to that, the more you open to that, you are open to receiving what it was there to teach you in the first place. And you receive it. When you have no preference, especially in the light of a divine preference, that is you learning the lesson that the divine preference was put there for in the first place. The moment you fully surrender to it, even that divine preference can simply dissolve. And you don't care because you fully surrendered, you're hootless. You don't give a hoot one way or the other. You're completely content to be poorer, to be the same, to receive more money, because you now are experiencing directly your happiness, your freedom does not require any amount of money. And when you allow yourself to be completely happy here now, no matter what, all the preferences dissolve. And then you notice that you are just open. to whatever the all that is brings to you, brings through you. You have no preference. You're happy no matter what. You love everything unconditionally, without any preference, without any judgment, without any conditions. Pure love. Pure being becomes pure love. Would you be willing to allow your whole mind to be rewritten from this higher truth of your loving being, your nature that is free of all preferences, pure loving being? You accept all, you welcome everything, you love all, you naturally bless everything. This is freedom. Expanding your overall system more as you fill with this love of your own being. As it rewrites every level of your energy system. As it anchors into every cell of your body. As it refines your nervous system, so you can be even more attuned to these higher vibrations, these higher truths, this higher love. Would you be willing to allow this to integrate more and more into your conscious mind, your conscious understanding? Would you be willing to allow these realizations to unfold consciously for you as they are ready to, as you are ready to receive them? So you can be even more conscious of this expansion beyond your human preferences, or the realignment of your human preferences with your divine preferences. Okay, we're pulling you back into pure being, which also helps you to integrate and harmonize with everything you received today. This increased expansion of your system, and the flow within your system. Calming your system, bringing you to a deep stillness. Excellent. We thank you all for participating, for helping to be the channel that allows these energies to come more and more into the earth, into the collective, into your life. This transmission is complete. Infinite blessings.